Why I don't do 30-day challenges. It's because nothing worthwhile in life comes without sustained effort. Okay, that's it. You can go and watch another video now. No, obviously I'm joking, it's a lot more complicated than that. So in this video we're going to talk about why I specifically don't think there's much value in 30-day challenges, except for in one specific instance, which I'm going to explain later. So let's talk about that. So YouTube loves 30-day challenges, but then so does everyone else. I think the first one I heard about was National Novel Writing Month, but since then we've seen Inktober, Veganuary, Stoptober, Scriptember, Mermaid, and a whole bunch of others that don't have catchy names but involve like getting up at 5 a.m. every day or having a cold shower or doing a plank every morning or whatever. And I've seen blogs from self-improvers going, I've done thousands of these, and first of all, no you haven't. You obviously haven't. Secondly, if they're so life-changing, then surely 2 or 3 of them would be enough to change your life. Doing 100 just means you're constantly looking for the next thing, and that seems a bit... Okay, I'm going to stop complaining for a second. Let's talk about buses instead. So in 2004, a photographer named Arno Minkkinen gave a commencement speech at the New England School of Photography, in which he compared looking for a creative career to getting on a bus at Helsinki's main bus station. So in this station there are about 24 platforms with several buses departing from each. And for the first few miles, all of the buses leaving from any given platform take basically the same route out of the city, stopping at exactly the same places. And so you pick a bus, but the bus is full of people, and so for the first few stops, which you can kind of think of as years of your creative life if you like, it feels like you're going to the same place as everyone else. So you jump off the bus and you get a cab back to the station and you pick another bus, and then the whole process starts again and again and again and again. So what's the answer? Minkkinen says it's simple. Stay on the bus. Because the thing is, a little bit further on, Helsinki's main bus routes start to diverge, going to very different destinations. And so the people who stay on their buses start to find themselves in unique places, seeing unique things and having unique experiences, because they had the courage to stay on what seemed like a well-trodden path, instead of constantly changing the course they were on. So that's Helsinki bus station theory. Now let's talk about tennis. So Infinite Jest is a famously huge book by David Foster Wallace that contains a whole load of fascinating discourses about different subjects, but one of my favourite parts in the whole book is the plateau scene. And so this is where a bunch of students at the elite tennis academy, that's the setting for most of the book, talk about the different plateaus they're going to kind of have to haul themselves across if you want any chance of making it to what they call the show, or the main tour of tennis. As it's explained in the book, there's radical improvement up to a certain plateau, and then what looks like a stall, and the only way to get off the plateau and onto the next one is with a lot of frustrating, mindless, repetitive practice and patience and hanging in there. There's also a bit of discourse about the different types of people who don't slog it out on the patient road towards mastery, and it's really well written. I will link it in the description. But the reason this is interesting is, David Foster Wallace himself was actually a very talented junior tennis player, and he's kind of talked about tennis a lot in some of his other work. And so he actually genuinely does understand quite a lot about what it takes to succeed in tennis, because he never quite made it. And his point, articulated by another character in the same scene, is progress towards genuine show caliber mastery is slow, frustrating, humbling, a question of less talent than temperament. And that's kind of the point. You can do almost anything for 30 days. Do 300 press-ups a day, go vegan, get up at 5 a.m, go kickboxing every night, or write 1,000 words every morning. But that's probably not going to change that much about your life. 1,000 words a day for a month isn't enough to get a book done, and kickboxing every night for 30 days isn't going to teach you how to fight. You need to make changes in your life that are sustainable for the long haul, and 30-day challenges will not do that. But also, there's something about investing effort in a project over the long haul that I think is very valuable for you as a person. 30 days is just not enough to hit a plateau, stall, and then work out a way to keep moving forward. Going beyond 30 days is where you have to work out how to embrace the grind, avoid burnout, and go beyond the mindset of just putting mindless reps in. And crucially, once you've done that with 1 or 2 things, you get better at doing it with absolutely everything else. You understand that stalling isn't permanent, you work out how to direct your learning beyond the beginner stages, and you internalize the lesson that plateaus are something you can go beyond. So by committing beyond that 30-day mark, you're teaching yourself to embrace future challenges with more confidence. And that is why I don't like 30-day challenges. So when do I do them? Easy, when I need a soft reset. So experts are divided on how long it takes to build or break a habit, but the number seems to vary anywhere between about 18 and 66 days. And so if you want to cut down on something, or give it up entirely, then 30 days is a perfect sort of circuit breaker between your old habits and your new ones. As an example, let's say you want to cut down on social media. Maybe you don't want to give it up entirely because you use it for work or you find it valuable for staying informed about the world, but you need a kind of circuit breaker between the way you currently use it and the way that you would like to. At this point, it's really valuable to quit entirely for an extended period of time in order to break the routines and associations you currently have before you start building up new ones. So for instance, maybe you strongly associate a certain spot on the couch with checking Twitter, or your default activity when you're in like a queue at a coffee shop is to get out your phone and have a quick scroll. Maybe you want to change your default activity on the couch and in the coffee queue to reading books, and a 30-day reset is the perfect amount of time to start doing that. And then you can reintroduce social media with your new habits already in place. And there you have it. 30-day challenges are great for resetting habits around things like social media use, booze and sugar. Not so useful for things that you actually want to do, like starting a gym habit, writing a book, or learning to draw. 30 days for stopping, long haul for starting. And if you do want to make progress over the long haul, I strongly recommend watching this video, which is about the best book I've ever read about making long-term progress. Thanks for watching.